This is the Wildflower Bee Farm Report for Saturday, June 13th, 2020. Here I am walking along. I want to show you the different placements we have for the hives. I'm going to show you some of them, not all of them. Here I'm in a grove. This is actually a pine grove, and I cut a bit out so you can see we have one hive. So our hives pretty much in most cases, unless we're doing research, are alone in a section as you would be for COVID, social isolation. But actually we're doing it because bees in nature do that. They don't usually all start hives together. You'll see 10, 20, 30. There you can see in this grove, they're very close to the 30 acres of clover that's coming out, but also the other section where there's... Now here's a second hive. Now I'm going to go up a mound of dirt. Yikes. I'm going to go down and up again. There's quite a bit of... Now this is facing south, so the north wind is blocked. There's some pine trees. Keep going. Around the corner. Keep going. Down another mound. There's another mound of soil that protects it from the wind, the north wind. And there's the beehive. And you can see the bees are enjoying life. And right ahead is where we used to have green ash, which is now taken out because it all died. So it's got a, sort of like a meadow appearance with wildflowers and grasses and other trees and shrubs. And so there you go. That's the... That's that one, and it's hiding below, and it's gonna be beautiful. Now here's another section you can see where I'm going around the back of a group of pine trees, and there's another hive just sitting there. Now the next is right near the pond. You're going to see, as I come up upon it, it looks like there's two hives, but there aren't. The one has bees, the other is a trap to catch any swarms that come along, and if that should happen, we'll move it. That is an old dock. It's about 2 or 3 feet above the ground, and there's some research suggests bees prefer that kind of thing. And it's right hidden in the back of there's some dogwood trees and other wildflowers there. And it's about 20 feet from the pond. So we'll see if we catch any swarms. And you can see it's not that far from the clover field. And there's the pond. Now going up, you can see, walking along, I'm going to come to another spot where I put a hive. You can see how close this is to the water. Remember, bees need fresh, cold water. Just fresh, clean water. We have ample water there to take care of these hives. Now, as you walk along there, you can see another hive. Now, this one is a split, and it's protected from the north and south. And it's in another secluded section. Again, alone. I really believe this is going to be important. It's a lot more work when you have your hives all over the place, but it's helpful, I think, to the bees to be in a situation where they have their own space. As I said, in nature, bees don't generally all, swarm and start up hives together. Now, there's something that's blooming. What could that be? Now, this was a discovery this morning. I'm going to show you this in a minute. This is just unbelievable. Right close to this small it's called a nuke or nucleus. Right now, here I'm looking at an oak tree. I'm going to get back to that other one. Here's an oak tree, and then we'll walk around the corner here. Again, sheltered from, there's oak. It's sheltered from the north, and you can see, wow, there's a hive, all alone. It's one of the splits I did, so it's a split, and it's just enjoying life. And it was very cold this morning, yet some of the bees there were still flying. Again, all around it is different shrubs and trees and wildflowers, and the pond's very close for it to get water, which is incredibly important. Now back to this hive. I found this another split, and yet I found another group of the same kind of blossoms. Now this is called a multifloral rose or many-flowered rose. Look how beautiful this is, and it's everywhere. There's all kinds of it in the bush. And you're going to see, I'm going to track some bees. Now, it was so cold, hardly any bees are flying this morning, but those that were coming. There's one right there. See them? See if you can find another one. Oh, we just missed them. You'll see them. And look how incredible. I mean, this is really something. And it's blooming and obviously providing the bees with pollen and nectar. There it is. It just hid behind that leaf. Coming out there, you can just see them. Oh, flying around, working. She's just working flower to flower. There she is, enjoying life. And this is everywhere. It's the multifloral rose, it's called. It's a wildflower, wild rose bush that is just loving life in the bush with the bees. This is actually wild black raspberries blooming, which the bees absolutely love. Just absolutely love. So they have ample opportunity for nectar and pollen. Now I'm taking you to another spot. This is again behind a grove, a section of pine trees. I cut this a bit with the grass just to get back there because it's very difficult to get to. Again, sheltered from the north, and it's another split I did. And you can see it's sheltered all alone. There's a few bees coming out, but it's really cold this morning. I don't expect any bees or foragers to come out for another couple of weeks because it's a newly split hive. But totally protected from birds. Now I'm at the pond. See the weeping willows? You're going to see two hives fairly close, but still social distancing. And this is part of the research to see if this distance matters, if these hives are okay to survive. You'll see how far apart they are. There's only two of them, and right behind them is a huge pond. Also a wild raspberry, black raspberry grove, I call it, because there's so much. There you can see the clover that's come up that I planted. It's everywhere. So the entire 30 acres did come up fine. We could use some more rain because it's a little dry, but it's survived. You can see some of the other wildflowers that have come up. And that's the bush where we just came from. So this is quite a distance away with the pond behind it. And you can see the distance here. Well over 6 feet. So, you know, we're socially distancing as we should. And we'll see how these beehives do. As far as being able to survive, despite the fact that they're relatively close. And I'm going to show you next two hives that are very close for research purposes, right behind one of the properties sheltered from the north. Now remember, in most bee yards, they're called, you'll see 10, 20, some cases 100 hives closer than this together. And I think this is an issue with disease. We'll see how these two survive, and we only have two tests like this, two here in the more open, away from the bush, and two I have in the bush like this, just to see if there's a difference. So that's the tour for today. I'm Henry for the WildflowerBeeFarm.com.